That's a nice big juicy one. G'day, I'm Mike from Self Sufficient Me, and in this video I want to share with you some growing and nutrition tips on blueberries, taken from our latest podcast with Kate. She's a practicing dietitian for 30 plus years, and I thought that you would like me sharing this knowledge and extra valuable information cut down in a shorter bite-sized video. So let's get into it.
These go up to, probably the worst I've seen is $11.99 a punnet.
Really?
And that's like 175 grams. Like, they are so expensive out of season.
Yeah.
But to pick one off, you know, a bush like this, it's just beautiful.
I've been a bit sick. I got this strain of flu. I lost my voice. I'm on the mend now. Speaking of that, would blueberries help me?
I was going to say, like, you know, we can't tie a very tight, like, you know, ribbon to blueberries will actually cure your cold. But again, they are very, very high in antioxidant level. So antioxidants helps with your immune system. So they can't hurt, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
And they are the only plant food that has natural blue colour. So, you know, throwing them in pikelets, pancakes, muffins, scrolls, anything just gives that beautiful blue hue.
Did you say that was the only fruit that is blue?
It's the only plant food that has the natural blue colour that I have found. Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
That is.
Oh no, it's a fat blueberry.
Like, that's as big as a big marble.
That is absolutely beautiful, just beautiful. And look, feel how they are very, very taut. Now, because
Very
of the height, very taut, very taut. And do you know how long it takes to freeze these?
2 hours?
No, 4 minutes. 4 minutes to freeze them because they're high water
Have
content.
you tested that?
Well, I've put them in my gin.
Oh.
My gin and tonic. And do you know what? They move around. I don't know how they do. If anyone out there is kind of an engineer, and how do they keep moving around inside your gin and tonic? Or is it just the actual bubbles from the tonic water?
They just keep
They keep moving.
That's nice.
Very pretty.
Next question. Would that make your gin and tonic healthier?
Well, Oh. Well, I would say yes, because it's got a fruit in it. There you go. Yep, absolutely. And, you know, everything in moderation. But it's just gosh, it is such a lovely fruit. I find you can actually, anything that's like a little handheld, this is great for little kids to start. Because, you know, it's dry to the touch. It doesn't make a lot of kids can be a little bit sensory. And the fruit flavour, it's very hard for a child to eat watermelon because it looks solid, but as soon as they bite, it turns into a huge amount of water and they gag. Whereas a little blueberry is very it's taut, it's
like
small.
a little lolly.
It's like a little lolly, and so when they bite, they can control around their mouth. So it is a great little fruit for kids.
Wow.
Oh, all of us.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. So
And
before
what
I met
about-
you, I didn't know that it was this easy to grow blueberries. But you said something to me about like the acidity, which...
Yeah. What I found was initially, like 10 years ago, I tried growing them in the garden like normal fruit trees, and my soil just wasn't good enough. I tried pine needles, I tried making the soil a little bit more acidic. They like a more acidic soil like azaleas. And I just kept on failing. So put an azalea mix in here, at least at the start, and then you can top it up with an azalea mix if the bed sinks a bit. But what I'm saying is you're better off growing it in containers where you can control the soil or the potting mix, and they'll grow a lot better for you. Give it some good trace elements every now and again. There are regions, of course, where these will grow like crazy and you won't have to worry about it, but certain places people find it quite difficult to grow blueberries. But if you use that mix or you use this type of growing method, and I've got several different plants in here to improve cross-pollination and also just have slightly different berries. And the other thing you'll notice is, and I was such a skeptic of this, see this tape? This is an anti-reflective, anti-bird tape. There's no way you would get these berries get to full size without this tape. You can see I've got this frame. I used to have to net it over, but then that stops the bees and pollinating insects coming in. So what I did was I've just left this frame on here, and I tried some of this bird tape, anti-bird tape, and it actually works. It's only about $2 a roll, and it works so well. And as you can see, the berries remain in place, get to full size, and we can pick them at our leisure.
And you have thousands. There are literally thousands of berries.
Yeah,
growing.
and the other good thing about home is, and when you're growing different varieties, is that you have them ripening at different stages. So you can get a punnet, every week for months as they develop at different times.
And a lot of people say to me, we talk in terms of food chemicals, the fact that I can just come in here and just pick straight off your, like the bush here and eat because, of your lack of using sort of like really bad chemicals and things.
Yeah.
But Mother Nature has put natural food chemicals in plants, and a lot of people say to me, are they good? Are they bad? They're natural, and like you've got salicylates, amines, glutamates. So when you've got your little blueberry that's green like that, it is not enticing to an insect, a bird, an animal to come and eat it because it's not ready. So for its life cycle in the wild, it needs to look like this lovely blue one. I'm just using that to pick this so that I can eat it all the time. So to get to that colour, that is when it's ripe. Now when a bird or an animal or an insect eats this and then poops somewhere, then the bush can regrow. But it's not going to be here. So that natural chemical in there, these are kind of what they call high in salicylates. And salicylates is a natural aspirin. So there's a very toxic kind of taste for birds and things in that. So they go, right, well, it's not ready to eat. Whereas this is fine. Only probably about 2% of the population have a chemical sensitivity, and that might be like a histamine response. But we work it out. But it's exactly like people who are egg allergic or nut allergic or seafood. Not everybody is. We find out who it is and we can manage that. So natural food chemicals are absolutely fine.
Right.
So again, that's another thing that I was reading and people were getting there's a lot of confusion.
Yeah, so that's the confusion. So and some nefarious people are twisting this and saying that that's reason why you shouldn't eat veggies is because they are deliberately trying to kill you. And that was one of the titles I saw in a video on YouTube. Was your veggies are trying to kill you. I mean, that type of inflammatory stuff is not helpful at all to the average person who's just trying to learn online.
Exactly. But again, if you read some of these, like I went and had a bit of a look at those kind of some of the sites, which were a little bit bizarre, and they're saying just think about it from the veggies perspective. It's growing, it can't move, it can't run away. So it has to actually provide something that is toxic to kill you. Oh my God, I'm not chasing my carrots down. I mean, and I'm not trying to be blasé about this, but we've got to look back to kind of the science and being realistic.
See, it's got that mold or something like that white stuff?
It's a protective, but I'm not quite sure why it's there. Is it for the fruit itself? Do you have to, it's like a fur. It's their protective fur. So I don't know whether that also allows it to get to its growing
maybe
fruition.
from insects.
From an insect, but it doesn't hurt us. So but you'll see when you buy.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, when you buy blueberries,
they're
like
washed.
from a fruit shop, they are washed.
Yeah,
and
okay.
that's washed off.
Yes,
but,
and they're more blue.
And they're more blue. Yes,
probably looks better.
Well, if they're darker, so for your drinks and things. So they're actually they are classed in inverted commas as the healthiest fruit out there. So per bite, per unit, what they actually provide to the body and I keep saying antioxidants. We live in a world where, we've got cars, trains, trucks, helicopters, planes, etc., antibiotics, cigarette smoke, people vaping, all of that sort of stuff. So the body is bombarded and oxidation is when there's certain things inside your body. I won't get too sciencey and nerdy on you, but they split and then that goes and attacks membranes and attacks skin, it attacks organs, and antioxidants bind those up and then you can kind of, evacuate them through your body. So that's what an antioxidant is. So
that's a great explanation.
So oxygen breaks and it becomes an oxidative particle and it then attacks.
Right.
So then an antioxidant binds and out. That's a very basic. If there's a few more like highbrow scientists watching this, I apologise if I've actually sort of not completely explained it. But that's how I explain it to clients, and that's why we do need to eat like fruits, vegetables, salads because they're high in antioxidants.
Right.
And also lots of olive oils, like a good olive oil, like extra virgin olive oil is high in antioxidants.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big blueberry thumbs up and share it around. This is a bit of a different type of content taken from our live stream, and I just thought cutting it down into these small, more easy to consume, bite-sized pieces, and condensing that information might be good, especially for those of you who may not have seen the live stream. If you want to go and see the live stream in full, just go to the live stream section on my channel. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now. Cheers.